Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, Sim Football Critic, and let's get right into it, man. We're going to jump right into this, and you guys know I like to do this live so I could get you guys feedback, and also, just so I can, interact with what you guys are saying and answer some of your questions and things like that. And just to let you know, man, obviously, since I'm doing this live in the evening, it's about 6:25 p.m. Eastern. That means, my wife and my son is home and they're upstairs doing their thing. So you may hear some background noise, but hey, we all have families. We all human. It is what it is. It's got to happen. All right. So let's go ahead and jump right into my recap of week 2 against the Falcons and, give you a few predictions or, a couple things that crossed my mind as far as who may or may not make the roster. So we're going to try to keep this no more than about 20 minutes. So you'll see me looking over at the clock from time to time. But let's jump right into it. So first and foremost, I know everybody wants to talk about the elephant in the room. All right. The elephant in the room is the Steelers' first team defense, right? And I already see somebody's already mentioned it, Ross Cockrell. Now, guys, real quick before I dive too far into it, just let me know that you guys are able to hear me. I'm pretty sure you are, but just confirm that. So in case you're unable to hear me for whatever reason, let me know. But I think everything is okay. All right, so let's talk about the Steelers' first team defense. Now, let's keep in mind a couple things, all right? There was no Bud Dupree. There was no Ryan Shazier. And there's no Mike Mitchell. Okay, thanks, Lil Dagger, for confirming that. Appreciate that. Now, you got to keep these guys in consideration. Obviously, we all know Mike Mitchell is not the best cover safety, yeah, but Mike Mitchell still presents some type of threat, to an offense to some degree because he is a punisher, so to speak, across the middle. And also, he is the starter. Whether we like or love him or hate him or what have you, he is the starter. And there are some circumstances, I'm sure, when he plays where he does take away something in the middle of the field. Yes, he's not a great cover safety. We understand that. But he's the starter, so you have to take that into consideration. Ryan Shazier, that's also a key component because what I noticed, a lot of the passes that the Falcons were getting in the first, drive and the second drive were down the middle of the field. It seems like most of the time when someone caught the ball, you noticed it was a tight end, or even if it was a receiver, it was in front of a safety, right? So that's a key thing to take a look at as well. I'm going to talk about that here in just a moment. And then obviously with Bud Dupree, yeah, I mean, come on, Bud Dupree, that's going to help out with the pass rush. At least we assume. So you got to take that in consideration as well. But however, I have to get on the first team defense a little bit, man. Particularly Ross Cockrell. So let's dive into that, because I had a discussion, with my father-in-law. He knows who he is. And, he's the type of Steelers fan, guys, that panics at first sign of trouble. And I understand that a lot of us are, like I was actually driving home from the beach when the game was on. I recorded the game and watched it later. And, I get a text and he's saying, oh, the same old defense. And I'm like, okay, it's the first drive. It's preseason. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, as well as it is the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, they were in the top 3, if not the best offense in the league. No Julio Jones, I get that. But let's not act like the Steelers have this dominant defense right now. We're still rebuilding. So anyway, so when I took a look at it, right, I went through the first drive and I went through the second drive as well. Again, like I said, if you really take a close look at it, it wasn't necessarily the cornerbacks that were getting torched. I also saw the Steelers run a lot of man coverage, which, he was telling me they didn't. I was like, yeah, actually they did run a lot of man coverage. Even saw some situations where we did a little man press, right? Now, we got him into third downs, and what we ended up doing was giving it up on third down. And that's something we are too accustomed to seeing. We all hate that. But if you really analyze it, the only cornerback, in my opinion, that played horribly, which, and it wasn't a full game, but we got enough to see, Ross Cockrell. You think about that second series when the deep ball over his head, we see that way too often with Ross Cockrell. I'm sorry. We just do. You hear about it in practice when Antonio Brown, I mean, he's one of the best receivers in the league. Let's not kid ourselves. You heard about it when Martavis Bryant got out there. You heard about it with Justin Hunter. Ross Cockrell is not a true press corner anyway. He's not necessarily the best man corner, which breeds a little bit of trouble into our defense, into our efforts, guys, because that's not going to be good, because we've all asked for man coverage, right? And if we're unable to get man coverage with our top two corners, that's a problem. It's a serious problem. Now, I can't leave William Gay out of that equation as well, because on one of those third downs, William Gay, as he's done in the past, missed the tackle. When they threw it out into the flat, the guy is able to rumble and bumble his way to a first down. You see what I'm saying? So just to give you a recap on how bad you guys think the first team defense looked, go back and really look at it. We were getting them into third down situations, and then we was giving up passes in the middle of the field, which has been a problem area. But if you notice, again, it wasn't necessarily on cornerbacks. You know, I saw safeties that were right there attempting to make the tackle. And maybe your safeties are not the best man cover guys either for situations where we're in man. But then also, let's not, discount Ross Cockrell did get torched on that second series, the deep ball, and then there was another one. And there was a would-be touchdown that he got burnt on the goal line. The dude gave him a quick out and in fake on the quick slant. My man drops the ball. So Ross Cockrell had a horrific game. Now, one thing that I've been hearing out of training camp from Tunch Elkin, Tunch was saying that they think Sensabaugh might be able to challenge Cockrell for his spot. Looking at how he played, it's possible. It concerns me a little bit on the outside, guys, even more so than in the slot. And even in the slot, we know what we're getting out of William Gay. A little shaky right now, but let me give the secondary a little bit of respect and a little credit here. Pressure. I didn't see a lot of pressure from the first team. Now, like I said, Bud Dupree wasn't there, which could help out TJ Watt. TJ Watt, guys, is not going to be the savior. He's raw. He's going to have his ups. He's going to have his downs. He's still learning the position. But we got to do better with rushing the passer with 4 when we're in that nickel package and we're not blitzing. If we're going to play man coverage, we must get some pressure on the quarterback. And I didn't see a lot of that, not from the first team. All right, so that's my quick assessment on the first team, and I will end it with this. Let's not panic. It is preseason week 2. I mean, you still got to allow time for your team to gel. Let's look at a positive real quick. Here's a positive. The Steelers are 2-0 in the preseason. We haven't been 2-0 in the preseason since 2010. So the reason why I say that's positive is it looks like we actually have some backup players that can ball. And rightfully, I could arguably say the second team defense outperformed the first team defense. Granted, they're going against second and third string guys, but still, they're showing some signs. Anthony Chickalo shows up. Chickalo looking good on that edge. Chickalo getting 2 sacks. Chickalo has always been a guy that they've said he's been the camp darling, and he's been the preseason phenom. We just got to keep him healthy, keep him on the field, and see if he can translate that, in the regular season, because they says he has great moves and things like that, which we've all seen. We can keep him healthy and we can keep him playing the way he's playing. Now you're looking at a rotation of Bud Dupree, TJ Watt, James Harrison, and Anthony Chickalo. I like that. Maybe we got some pressure cooking. Maybe we got something in the tank right there with those 4 guys. We'll have to see. But also, man, you got to give credit to guys like, I got some notes here. Give me a second. You got to give a little bit of credit to guys like Dangerfield. Again, Dangerfield is not a great cover guy, but he seems to be around the ball and he makes tackles. He is a good hitter, which you guys noticed last year. We had Dangerfield come in a lot in first and second down and run situations to help with run support. Who I still don't feel that cool about, guys, is Robert Golden. I'm just not feeling it, man. I'm just not feeling it from Robert Golden. No disrespect to him, but hey, I've seen enough of Robert Golden to really think I've seen what he has to offer. I'm just being honest. Not seeing it. Let me think who else, guys. And y'all know I like to do this on the fly, so it's organic. And in a moment here, I'll look and see what kind of questions you guys have. Metakevich, to me, didn't look as good in this game. Took a minor step back. But I'm cool with Metakevich. I think he's going to be fine the more and more playtime he gets. Let me think who else. We got a couple players back there, man. Backup players like the guy Hoonigan did a good job. He got himself a sack. Let's see. Let's talk about Joshua Dobbs. Eesh. Now, before people jump off the deep end, we all know that Josh Dobbs was not the replacement for Ben Roethlisberger. However, we do need to get some quarterbacks in there, whether it's free agency or draft, just to get some backup material. I think Dobbs is going to be okay, man. We have to, as Steelers fans, and I'm sure other fans can say this, we have to not put on the rose-colored glasses and expect that these rookies are going to ball till they fall. Like, they're rookies. Everyone is not a phenom. Everyone is not a superstar. Some guys take some time to develop. Even look at a guy like Stephon Tuitt. Tuitt has turned out and has become a beast, but he had to gradually get to that. You know what I mean? Dobbs is going through normal quarterback rookie things. You know, his accuracy is an issue. I will say that. His accuracy, he's going to have to improve his accuracy, man, because downfield, he's just not that accurate. You know, it looked like it would have possibly been a short and back shoulder throw to Martavis Bryant, but I don't know. I think that was just Dobbs' accuracy. The ball didn't get there. Martavis made a heck of a play on it. Good to see him back in a Steelers uniform. He needs to make those plays going forward. But Dobbs' accuracy bothers me. Now, his decision-making, I can't say it bothers me. It looks like a typical rookie trying to make something happen, man. You got to throw that ball away so you don't throw that interception. That was ill-advised, trying to flip it out. Get rid of that ball. Eat it or just throw it out of bounds. You know what I mean? So little things like that, again, guys, that's normal rookie stuff. Don't lose your head over that. However, the tight end position is a little concerning as well. And we all are going to go back. A lot of us who really studied the draft, we're going to say, yeah, George Kittle was out there when we picked Dobbs. So some people might disagree with that decision. Nothing we can do about it now. So we'll see. Speaking of tight end, I like this kid McGee, man. Jake McGee is, I don't know how great of a pass catcher he is, but I'm loving what I'm seeing out of him from the blocking standpoint. It almost makes me feel like, man, if he keeps showing up the way he's doing, maybe Grimble needs to go. Grimble is not showing up. Xavier Grimble is not making the plays that he needs to make on this roster. We already got a big, catch it and secure it type of guy in a Jesse James, which he still needs some work. Grimble needs to be more of that stretch type of guy, not as fast, obviously, as Green was, but a guy that can stretch the field, but he doesn't appear to be reliable. He's not catching the ball. I don't like that. You got another good blocking tight end in David Johnson, and I'm honestly saying right now, I'm liking the way this kid, Jake McGee, is playing. McGee is making some key blocks, critical blocks, to free up the running backs, man. You got to pay attention to that. So it's going to be interesting, man, going further and further down this preseason to see what's going to happen. But again, like I said, I think Dobbs will be okay, man. He just needs to continue to get his reps, and we'll see what happens. Let's talk James Conner. Phenomenal performance on the ground. Emphasis on the ground. Because I saw some people on Twitter talking about, hey, man, if this guy continues to play the way he plays, maybe we don't need Bell. Timeout, Junior. Pump your brakes a little bit. Okay, let's not forget that James Conner dropped 2 balls. No pun intended. But he dropped 2 balls on third down situations, one in which he had at least 15 to 20 yards ahead of him to run. And what did he do? Normal rookie mistake. We even saw it on the TV. Ball is coming. He turns his head, drops the ball. Little stuff like that. Nah, son. We need you to have some better concentration, secure that ball, and get upfield. Like I said, those were third down situations. You got to keep the drive going. So you can't go patting him on the back just yet. And also, I like what he did in the run game. I have to agree with the running back coach, though. Saxon was saying that, it was said that he said that James Conner made a couple extra moves that he didn't need to make. I can agree with that. And I think that's just, jitters. And that's just excitement being out there. But there were a few times where he did a little bit of, too much dancing. He probably could have just, ran it up in there. But I'm not mad at how he runs. We need that type of quick hit guy behind Bell. If he can stay healthy and continue to play like that, And, I'm assuming he'd be able to do an even better job with the first team offense as far as the O-line. We got something here. We may have a pretty good 1-2 punch because Connor will also lower that shoulder on you. You know what I mean? He knows he's not that fast, so he'll try to punish you as well. So, bright spot there, kid. For it being your first time, I'm rooting for him. Obviously, we all know his backstory. I like James Conner a lot. We just got to, come on, you got to catch the ball, man. You got to move the chains, keep the chains moving. Let's talk Trey Williams. Whoa. Did we or did we not find a punt returner? And real quick, guys, let me just take time out. Y'all will probably see this crazy comment here. Don't address it. Don't address it, guys. I see a crazy comment there. Don't even give it any shine. I shouldn't even have did that, but I want you guys not to pay attention to that. People are going to be ignorant. But, yeah. Trey Williams, man, I mean, the thing about it is, are we able to keep him as a special teamer? That's the question. He's technically a running back. That running back room is kind of deep. We're already trying to figure out if is it going to be, Toussaint or now Davis. Now Trey Williams may have made a case for himself to possibly kick out one of those running backs, maybe now Davis, I don't know, just for a returner, or they may find somewhere else they can cut and trim on the roster, maybe trim one of the receivers or something like that, to be able to get this guy a spot as a special teamer. I will say this, after seeing the way he performed, DeMarcus Ayers probably don't got a chance, man. He hasn't been healthy, hasn't played, and you see a guy like this, I don't know. He might not have a chance. So we'll see, man. But that's going to be interesting to see how the Steelers handle that. I absolutely want Antonio Brown to stop returning kicks. You just never know, man. One freak accident, you never know. You don't want your number one guy doing that all the time. I'm in favor of him doing it when it's a time when we need it, a quick boost, but not all the time. Let me see what else I got, man. Then I'll take a look at some of you guys' questions, and then we'll be out of here. Overall, special teams did great. You got to give Rosie Nix his credit as well for getting the block. I saw a lot of good pressure, on the block. The punt block situations, which the Steelers, again, we haven't blocked a punt in forever. That's something me and my cousin but scream at the Steelers about all the time. We don't usually get any type of pressure in punt situations. So to see that come up in that game, that's good to see. And again, the Trey Williams situation and the punters, man, the punters and the kickers are doing their job. Trey Williams, I will give you one quick knock though. Hagan had your block and you chose to go left, where, all you had to do was go right, and you walking in the end zone. Made it a little tougher than you needed to, but hey, you got in there. So pat on the back for that. Real quick, last thing I would talk about, guys, is Hunter and Coates. I don't know. I can't call it. Hunter was fortunate enough to make a great play in the game, shaking one guy off, stretching the ball out, making another guy miss to get in the end zone. Outstanding play right there. Was it enough to beat Coates? I don't know. I honestly think that Hunter's spot is up to grabs with DHB, because I kind of feel like the wide receiver group is probably going to be, it's my gut feeling, Antonio Brown, Martavis Bryant, Juju Smith-Schuster. I think Eli Rogers will make the team, and I think the fifth spot is probably Coates. So then that leaves Hunter and Darius Hayward-Bay if the Steelers keep 6 receivers like they've been known to do. They have kept 5 in the past, so we don't know. But it seems like Hunter is probably battling Darius Hayward-Bay more than he's battling Sammy Coates. And it's going to come down to special teams play as well, because, Hayward-Bay has been one of the most outstanding, special teams player for the Steelers. And, as far as him being a receiver, I think that competition is over with. But it's going to come down to that, to kind of determine where they're going to go with their roster move. So those are just my quick thoughts. So real quick, man, let me see what a couple of you guys are saying. We got a few more minutes here, and then we'll jump out of here. Oh, let me not forget. I see Marco Brinson says, what do I think about Mike Hilton? I like Mike Hilton, man. I really do. I actually want to see Hilton get some time with the number ones. I want to see him get some time, perhaps in this upcoming preseason game where, it's pretty much a tune-up. Even though we know the Steelers don't really handle it like that. Ben is probably going to play a series or 2 or if the series is strong in the first series, he's out of there. So we don't really handle the third game like a lot of other teams where starters play a whole half. I don't see that. But defensively, I can see the starters playing a lot more, especially after that performance against the Falcons. I would like to see Hilton play with them. Replace him with replace Will Gay with him and see how he handles himself. I really like Hilton. I think he's definitely going to make the squad. All right, so I'm going to just address a few of these questions here, guys. See what you got, or just comments. See what you guys are saying here. Appreciate all of you guys that are saying you love the channel and all that. Salutes to you guys, man. Appreciate that. And this is not the stream, guys, for the Madden giveaway. So I see some of you putting the hashtag here. It's not going to do you any good to put the hashtag in this stream. Let's see. I don't see what the Steelers see in him. Dude, trash. Who was that, Marco? Let me go back and see who you talking about. Oh, Ross Cockrell. Yeah. I'm beginning to believe it, man. I'm beginning to believe he's just not the guy. He's just not the guy. Reeves still out there. I think an old Reeves is better than Ross Cockrell. You might have a point. On the outside, I don't know. Maybe slot help with him being older. It's possible. We'll see. Hargraves look good. Yeah, Hargraves, man. No worries there. I'm only concerned with him having a concussion, but preseason he'll be back. But yeah, he's that guy. I want to see Cam Sutton, as do I. I mean, hopefully this boy gets to play this year, this game, or the next. I want to see more Juju as well. I know it's not his fault. It's unfortunate. He's getting hit with the injury bug a little bit. However, it's not the same as like a Golson. Juju seems to be getting hit with injuries that are going to heal. And he did play, at least in the first game, a couple downs. So I'm excited for Juju as well. Let me see what else you guys are saying. One guy says Hunter over Rodgers. I'm not ready to say that. Not ready to say Hunter over Eli Rodgers. I like Eli Rodgers, and I think Eli Rodgers has more to bring to the table than people think. So I'm not ready to say that. Excuse me, guys. I got choked up there. Faison Odom need to make that team 6'8", look like a beast. But it's a reason why we're not seeing him. He has huge problems blocking. I mean, they're talking about he's butter soft when he's blocking. I mean, I've heard Alex Kazor and others say TJ Watt has thrown this guy all over the field. So he might just be a big guy that can catch, but, with the Steelers as a tight end, you got to do a little more than that. Let me see what else you guys are saying, and I think we can be out of here in a moment. He says, Dallas Ramsey said, I was there. James Conner looked good. He did, man. He looked very, very good. All right, and then the last thing one of you guys here said, and this will be it for the tonight's episode. Lee Sharp says, Sensabaugh is better than Ross Cockrell. Give him a chance. Hey, that's what I'm hearing as well. I'm not necessarily hearing that he's better, but I understand what you're saying. I'm definitely hearing that Sensabaugh has looked better. And Sensabaugh, like I said, Tunch Elkin, former Steeler, on Steeler Network Radio, he's been out there. He says, even in camp, that Sensabaugh has a potential to challenge Cockrell for his spot. Looking at how Cockrell has played, I would love the Steelers to give these guys a chance. Listen, we're not the coaches. I understand that it's easy for us as fans to see what we think we see. I get it. But at the same time, these guys are there. Give them a chance while we're still in preseason. Let me see a little bit of Mike Hilton and maybe a little bit of Sensabaugh with the first team, not with the backups. I see how they play with the first team to see if they are possible options. So I agree with you guys there. All right, so that's going to do it for tonight's episode, guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And it looks like you guys prefer the live format, so whenever I could do it live, I will. I'll probably, do it in the evenings. That's a little bit better than doing it at, 12 or 1 p.m. Most, a lot of you guys are able to tune in later. So I appreciate everybody who came through. Of course, man, and, as far as here on YouTube, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more content, even outside the Steelers, as well as cut on your notifications, man, so you know when a new video is available. And I promise you, it'll never hurt you. It'll never hurt you to hit that like button. All right, now before we go, I will remind some of you guys who know me from the gaming side, yes, I am giving away digital codes of Madden NFL 18 tonight. I'll be streaming probably at about 8 p.m. You have to look at my previous video to enter. I'm not going to give you the information here. I'm going to make you do your homework, but some of you lucky guys and girls may be able to win a copy of Madden, so look out for that. But all right, that's going to do it, man. I'm out of here. Y'all have a good evening. And for you guys that'll be back for the gaming stream tonight, I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, here we go, Steelers. Y'all take it easy. Peace.